All right, what's going on, Facebook family? We're back for part two of the 10 foods that are causing inflammation. And shout out to those of you guys who tuned in uh, yesterday, not last night, but yesterday, and um, and shared the video. You know, especially for those of you in the HBN community. If you're not an HBN member, you might want to check us out in terms of our amazing wellness products that are literally helping people to change the paradigm of their health. Okay, um, it's so important for us to become more proactive as we uh, we grow and mature and live out our daily lives. The more we become proactive about the knowledge of how our body works, the more we can do basic home remedies and um, just nutritionally support our immune system on a daily basis. And doing that in a conscious way, not just aimlessly going about, eating and drinking anything that tastes good or makes us feel good. We have to get away from that because if you do not know what you're putting in your body, you could be injuring and hindering and preventing your body from giving you um, the best experience of health. You got to remember you're three in one: your mind, body, and soul. Okay, and sadly, most of us function at the level of our minds. You know what I'm saying? Um, and we think about, we look at our bodies and um, we understand what our hands are, our arms, and so forth. But when it comes to the soul, okay, the body and the soul, the inside of the body, okay, what you're made of, all right, your 12 systems, all right. This is where we're having the greatest problem when it comes to personal wellness, okay. And most of us are literally injuring ourselves every time we get up in the morning and we sit down to breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We're literally eating ourselves into the grave, okay. As Joe Cross said in his amazing documentary Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, that's what's happening. We're making ourselves fat, we're making ourselves sick. And as this one brother said, this 51-year-old, I would say he's a hard body, and talking about how people are setting themselves up for premature illness. He says people are literally dying at 25 and they're not buried until they're 75. Okay? Dying at 25 and being buried at 75. So for 50 years, most people are walking around like the living dead because they're living off of what? Dead sustenance that has no life. Okay? And so when we're talking about the 10 foods that cause inflammation, these are foods that take away or rob us of life. Okay? And I know you don't want to be in that position. I know that you do not want to be someone's patient in somebody's hospital, in somebody's gurney, okay, with some tubes in your chest or in your nose. You don't want to be that person. Okay, you don't want to be that person. I've worked in the medical community for over 13 years, and I've seen people who had diseases that were preventable, but they just did not have the knowledge of how to construct their lifestyle in such a way as to keep them out of the red of disease simply by how they nourish themselves, how you eat, drink, handle stress. And most of it is how you eat, okay, which this article brings out, okay. So the 10 foods that cause chronic pain, well, chronic inflammation, and trigger pain, fatigue, and bloating, okay. And remember, there's two types of inflammation, okay. There is inflammation that comes from trauma, and then there's chronic inflammation. And the problem we're dealing with today, my brothers and sisters, is chronic inflammation. And if you go to the University of Google and you go to the University of YouTube and you look up the silent killer, one link that will come up is the Time magazine article. Their front page story was the silent killer. And guess what it is? It's inflammation. Okay? Now, there's good inflammation and there's bad inflammation. That's what we talked about yesterday. The good inflammation is what happens naturally. You injure yourself. You hit your knee. You slam a hammer or a brick or something or a rock and it falls on your hand, and instantaneously, because of that injury, you get swelling in that finger, right? Well, that swelling is there for a purpose. It's there for the purpose of helping the body to restore the area that's injured. Okay, that's all natural. We've all had accidents, or we've either hit our head, or something's fallen on our foot, okay, or we kick something, or bump something the wrong way, and all of a sudden we're starting to swell up right here, right? But chronic inflammation, that's a whole nother aspect of pain, because that's what inflammation is. It's a pain trigger, okay? That's an indication that something is going on, that something is wrong on the inside, okay? Or let's say on the surface, okay? And most of us have dealt with trauma on the surface. But what's going on the inside, okay? What's happening with the chronic inflammation? What's causing that? Because I'm telling you right now, the underlying cause of most diseases is inflammation. And it goes back to what we are consuming, okay? And we can control that, all right? You don't need a medical profession to tell you that. All you need is to know what the triggers are, and then avoid, and the landmines are, and then avoid those triggers and landmines. Because if you don't avoid them, yes, you're going to get sick, you're going to get inflammation, and you're going to get the disease that is associated with that type of chronic inflammation. Okay, it's not the diabetes and the heart disease and the encephalitis or the pancreatitis. It's not that. That's the symptom of an underlying cause that we are creating by poor choices. You got to get past this thing about, oh, it just tastes so good. Okay, today, taste is the number one thing that is luring us into digging an early grave, because the taste, because the way it tastes, because the way you feel when you eating it, the way it makes you feel. It's like a bad lover, you know. It's a hate and love relationship. You love how it tastes, but you hate the way it makes you feel and look. And that's where a lot of us are. We eating stuff that we love, but we hate how it makes us feel and look, you know, in the aftermath. All right, so let's get into it real quick. All right, we talked about sugar last time. Again, our body's naturally inflamed when the body is injured. Okay, that's what we just talked about. Unfortunately, chronic inflammation is a different story and is largely caused by diet. Okay, notice again, unfortunately, chronic inflammation is a different story, and it's largely caused by diet. So again, it's something that we do to ourselves. It's not something that you catch or someone breathes on you and you get inflammation. No, we create it by our lifestyle. Okay, what are some of the issues that are surrounding chronic inflammation? Stress, lack of exercise, smoking, pollution, lack of sleep. Those are other indicators, okay, of why you may be going through an inflammation situation, or you could be exacerbating it by a horrible diet. And then to top it off, you got stress, you're not exercising, you're smoking, you're around a lot of pollution, lack of sleep, okay? Leaky gut syndrome, arthritis, fibromyalgia, celiac disease, irritable bowel disease, okay? All, again, underlying cause is inflammation. Also diabetes, okay? And the body's trying to continuously heal itself, but it can't, okay, because it's fighting too hard to stay off the problems that, again, we are causing it. Okay, we talked about refined sugars. That should be a no-brainer to most of us. Okay, let's go on to the next one. The next one on number 2 on the list out of the 10 is vegetable oil. Vegetable oil. Vegetable oils. Now listen clearly, because I know some of y'all watching me right now got vegetable oil in your cabinets, in your kitchen, in your cupboards, and the vegetable oil probably is not olive oil in a dark bottle. It's probably something in a clear bottle where you can see the yellow oil. Okay, right there, I'm gonna tell you right now, that's problematic. That is problematic, and we're gonna find out why. Okay, here we go. Vegetable oils from corn, canola, soybeans, safflower, and all the products that contain them, yes, even vegan items like butter spreads, are high in omega fats. The bad ones, not the good ones, like those found in evening primose oil. Okay? The body needs healthy balance of omega-6 and omega-3 fatty acids. Notice, the body needs a healthy balance of omega-6 and omega-3 fatty acids. But many people currently consume more 6s than 3s. Can you hear that? So it's not that you can't consume the omega-6, but the problem is we're consuming way more 6s than we are 3s. This imbalance can contribute to chronic inflammation, okay? And again, do your own research, okay? Because now, this is the problem in America. We're so used to someone spoon feeding us information. We're not taking the time to read for ourselves, and that's the problem, okay? A lot of the stuff you can read for yourself, like I'm reading you this article. This is just one article. I mean, this could save you hundreds of thousands of dollars at the hospital, okay, in effort to prevent you from making a wrong choice, just on this simple article right here. This simple article could be the game changer for you if you take the steps and follow the advice, the counsel, and the research that's being done here. And then again, look at somebody who's living the lifestyle right here. Okay, hello, right here, living the lifestyle. Okay, these are things that I try to live by, okay, which is put me in the area at my old age, or as a grandpa, has put me in a category where I'm living an anti-inflammatory lifestyle diet. Okay, why? Because I was reading stuff like this for the last 30 years, and I decided a long time ago, I ain't going down that road, yo. Not doing that. I don't care how much everybody else is eating at the party, or at the birthday, or at the wedding. I'm not doing it. Even at my own birthday, my mom don't even listen. My mom, when she had she hosted my 50th birthday, the catering was not for me. It was for everybody else. Even my own cake, I couldn't even eat it. Okay, I could, because that's not how I roll, and it was okay for me because that's how she knows how I roll. I bring my own food. I drink my own water. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. You got to be that serious about your health when it comes to, you know, being at your very best. You have to make that decision. I don't care what, you can't care what everybody else does. It's all about you. Okay, forget everybody else. If they want to do that and eat those things, then guess what? They're going to have to deal with the repercussions of those things that they're eating in ignorance. Okay, now you are being enlightened, so there's no longer it's no excuse for you now to sit back and say, oh, okay, I didn't know that. Okay, now you know, so now it's up to you to start doing the research. Omega-6. Okay, look up the things that have omega-6 fatty acids in it, or oils that are omega-6, and see if you are not consuming more of those than omega-3s. Okay, here we go. Currently, the Western diet, which we call the standard American diet, the SAD diet. Currently, the Western diet provides 6-to-3 ratios between 10 to 1 and 50 to 1. Excess consumption of omega-6 can trigger the body to produce pro-inflammatory chemicals. Again, excess consumption of omega-6s can trigger the body to produce pro-inflammatory chemicals. This is what I would do. I'm gonna just show you what I would do. If I was someone who's like, okay, what is he talking about omega-6? I would go, like I just told you, to the University of Google, and I would type in here products, let's say foods. Actually, I would do this: dangerous foods that contain omega-6. This is how I research. Okay, and I'd scroll down and I would just kind of look around to see, okay, what are the foods that actually contain omega-6s? Okay, and then it says top 10 foods highest in omega-6 fatty acids. There you go. Okay, and then you want to start looking around, okay, going on. Let's just look at the list here. Dangers of an omega-6 to omega-3 imbalance, lifeextension.com. List of foods high in omega-6. This is how you research, okay? You don't just take one link, you look at a plethora of links and see if they're all kind of saying the same thing, and then look at the research done on it to validate whether that is something that's true or not. That is how you research, okay? Omega-6 foods to avoid, healthinfo.com, okay? And let's just jump into, actually I like the life extension one, because anytime you're talking about life extension, these people are pretty up on their game, okay? Life extension, and it has under here the science of health of a healthier life. And again, we're just on number 2, y'all. But see, you see how we have to go a little more in depth to get the clear understanding about what's being talked about here. Okay, this is how we research. This is how you come to a place where you bring your body into harmony. Okay, so that you're not imbalanced. Okay. All right, and again, it says omega-3s reduce chronic inflammation and have proven benefits for brain health. Increasing intake of fish oil derived from omega-3s can help restore fatty acid balance. Of course, I would not eat fish. I would do something like flaxseed. Reducing cardiovascular disease, cognitive dysfunction, depression, metabolic syndrome, and age-related conditions. Okay, and that's what a vegan would do. A vegan would go the flaxseed route. Okay, if I was consuming, if I had to up my omega-3s, that's what I would do. Okay, let's go on here. This is kind of going back on the omega-3s. And again, it's kind of bringing in, okay, today the average intake of omega-6s is vastly higher. The amount of omega-6 fats ingested compared to 3s is as high as 20 to 1. So notice that high as 20 to 1. So this is pretty shocking. And then again, we see the reason why a lot of us are having the problem with what? Chronic inflammation. Okay, omega-6 foods to avoid. And then it kind of goes into another list. Again, let's see here. Let's see if it brings up something that we can look at. All right, so they give their list of omega-6 foods to minimize or completely avoid. Okay, dairy, meat, poultry, pork, trans fats, fast food, snacks, oils, salad dressings, mayonnaise. Okay, how many of us are have this full in our kitchen, in our refrigerators, our cupboards? Dairy, meat, poultry, pork, trans fat. So this is, again, this is how you study. In this other article that I'm reading to you now, it goes through the same thing basically. Okay, it's going to say the same exact thing. Okay, going on, it says, so a diet with a lot of omega-6 and not much omega-3s will increase inflammation, while diet high in omega-3s and low in omega-6 will reduce inflammation. Making sure these levels are in check is a crucial step in fighting inflammation. Okay, so very, very simple. All right, and again, that's something that you need to do. Instead of vegetable oils, opt for healthier anti-inflammatory oils like avocado, coconut oil, or sesame seed or sesame oil. So there's your alternative. Okay, so instead of me eating ice cream, I will eat vegan ice cream. Okay, and the vegan ice cream that I choose to eat is so delicious. Okay. All right, so again, that's my healthier option. And the same thing here. Instead of eating vegetable oils or consuming vegetable oils, opt for the healthier. And if you're eating fat, like that fat that you get from pork, and you leave it on the counter or on the stove, that's like the worst thing you can put in your body. Okay, that's a trans fat. It's clogging your arteries. Okay, and if you've been doing that for a lifetime, then guess what? That's a lifetime of a buildup in your system, and to detox that takes a while. Okay, so when we get to the area where now we're starting to clean up the diet, we looking for that quick fix. Well, guess what? It didn't take it. You didn't get to the place where you are being unhealthy overnight. All right, it takes time to become completely unhealthy, and it takes time to unwind or unlearn or undo what you have done. Okay, to create the problem. Okay, and again, you don't want to be healthy for a moment. You want to be healthy for a lifetime. So don't look for the quick fix. You need to look at changing the paradigm of how you eat and never going back and doing what you did ignorantly again. And this is part of that ignorance that's leading so many Americans, okay, based upon what? What it tastes like, down the path of premature sickness, premature aging, and premature death. That's why my anti-aging lifestyle has set me up, okay? So I'm aging backwards instead of forwards. So instead of looking at someone indicative of being what, 50 plus years old, I am more indicative of someone who looks like they're in their late to early 30s. And that's the anti-aging profile. That's what it should do. You should slow your aging down by 30 or by 20 years. So at age 30, I slowed my age down by 20 years. I didn't age anymore. At age 30, I stopped aging. For the last 20 years, I haven't really been aging. Why? Because the choices, the dietary choices, slowed my aging down to a crawl. You're going to have an amazing life, okay, to enjoy on a physical level, on the on the level of immunity, on a level of detoxification, of a level of energy. You know, I can go out, do like 30, 40 pull-ups, do 100 plus push-ups, okay, because I'm staying in the game. Not just eating right, but I'm staying in the game physically, okay. So I can play around with my 29-year-old son. I can play around with my 7-year-old granddaughter, and my other granddaughter who's 5 years old. Okay, and you would never think if I never told you, you would never even think in a million years that I was as old as I am. Okay, so again, I'm a practical authority. Okay, taking the science, applying it to my life, getting mad results. Okay, and then what I've done in my lifestyle is I've just incorporated more superfoods. Okay, to be super healthy, you got to be doing superfoods. If you ain't doing superfoods, you're not gonna be super healthy. Okay, I'm sorry, it's just not gonna happen. Okay, because even in the best foods that's out there, it's still not good enough. Okay, we want to have a Bugatti, Lamborghini, Bentley nutrition. Okay, that's the way we want to roll. Because if you living like that, then there's no way that you're gonna be sick, lying around fat, sick, and nearly dead. Like my man Joe Cross said in his video, fat, sick, and nearly dead. And sadly, most of us, some of y'all watching this, is in that category. If you're not fat, you're sick. And if you're not fat and sick, you're walking around like you're nearly dead because you have no energy. And what's doing it is what you're consuming. Okay, and I'm just keeping it real. Because if I don't keep it real, then you're not going to know how to make the changes. Okay, so this is a tough message to hear, but you got to hear it if you really want to make the change. Okay, if you don't, then you have yourself to blame. Ain't that wrong? That's kind of crazy. All right, here we go. Number 3. We're gonna end on 3. Dairy products, which is the other one that the last link that I had shared brought out. Dairy products. Okay, all dairy products. All. Okay, get this. All dairy products. Again, all dairy products. Again, all dairy products. Can't say it enough, y'all. Okay, all dairy products are high in saturated fats which are naturally inflammation causing. Again, all dairy products are high in saturated fats which are naturally inflammation causing. If you want to run from something like it's the devil itself, you need to run from all dairy products because it is ruining your health from the toe to the flow up. Okay? You can minimize it, but this is something that I would totally just disregard. Why? Because even the farming practices, okay, dealing with how they are manufacturing, look into that, man, because you're not getting no cow raised on on the pasture, no farm cow. You're not getting that. You're getting a factory cow. Okay, let's go on. Large observational studies have shown direct associations between plasma saturated fatty acid status with markers of low-grade inflammation in both overweight and lean adults and children. Get this. Large observational studies have shown direct associations between plasma saturated fatty acid status with markers of low-grade inflammation in both the overweight and the lean, okay, in adults and children. In addition, as summarized in recent review, activation of numerous genes related to inflammatory pathways has been documented in a number of clinical trials in humans following the consumption of saturated fatty acids. Dairy products contain lactose and casein proteins, both common allergens. Now we wonder why a lot of people are lactose intolerant. You lactose intolerant from birth. You weren't designed to be drinking no cow milk. You designed to drink breast milk, and you only designed to drink breast milk for a short amount of time, like all mammals in nature. They drink the breast milk of their mothers, and then they are weaned off. Why are we still drinking milk? You see what I'm saying? It's a socialized conditioned response. You are socialized into thinking that you need milk in order to have protein and strong bones. Furthest thing from the truth. Haven't had it in 30 years. Why do I have strong bones? Plant-based. Okay? Going on. When an allergen interacts with the immune system, it promotes the release of inflammatory neuropeptides. Again, when allergens interact with the immune system, it promotes the release of inflammatory neuropeptides, thereby triggering a cascade of unfavorable reactions in the body. Okay? Again, dairy products contain lactose and casein proteins, both common allergens. Okay? You got to look up that word allergens, okay? From the which is the root word for allergies. Okay, why are we having allergies? Well, this is one of the reasons right here. Dairy products. When an allergen interacts with the immune system, it promotes the release of inflammatory neuropeptides, thereby triggering a cascade of unfavorable reactions to the body. See, if you don't even touch that stuff, then you don't deal with that stuff. Okay, don't start none, won't be none. Okay. Here we go. There are plenty of dairy product alternatives out there, such as plant-based milk, cheese, yogurt, and ice cream. For example, oat milk, almond milk, coconut milk, and cashew milk. Okay, so if you want the healthy choice, there you have it. Okay, and again, the best beverage of all is just to, you can soak your water in oats overnight, and then, the oats will settle. I'll say you do like a pitcher. Put the oats at the bottom, let's say 3 or 4 cups, and then fill the water all the way up to the top, and then let it sit overnight. Okay, that becomes kind of milky, and then it actually becomes a little thickens. And you add a little salt, add a little sweetener to it. I recommend stevia or organic sugar. Okay, and then voila, you have yourself a milk-based product that is plant-based. Very simple. And yes, it's not going to taste the same. But you're educating yourself and your palate to do something more healthy. Okay, so this will end part 2, okay, because we got 7 more foods to deal with, okay? And again, for those of you who want to know what I'm doing to change the game, for those of you who want to know what I'm doing to change the game in my lifestyle, okay, in terms of helping me to reduce inflammation in my body, this product here called Nourish, okay, which is a vitamin sprout formula or superfood, okay. It has over at least 15 different sprouts, okay, and all you have to do is do a search on the benefits of sprouts, and you will be blown away. Okay, not just one sprout. Okay, and the nutritional benefit you get from just one sprout, like let's just say a broccoli sprout. or an alfalfa sprout. Just look up the benefits. And if you have a superfood that has a combination of over 15, do you realize that you are amassing in your blood all the life force of all 15, okay, superfood sprouts that cover just about everything you're going to need for the day's work load, okay, for the day's interaction. This right here is one of those powerful products. And again, it's all from nature, okay? And if it's found in nature and it's harnessed from nature and it's kept in an alkaline state and the enzymes are intact, all you have to do is just add water to a product like this and you're going to receive the same life force because the life force has been preserved. Okay, that's what modern technology has done for those of us in the wellness community. Is showing us how to take the natural, suspended in animation to where the enzymes are intact, so when we consume it in its powder form, in a juice form, or with liquid, that then all comes to life, and that same life force goes into us. Okay, and this is what gives me. This is what I've been doing like all day today. Okay, it's 2:44. Tea, my superfood tea, and superfood. That's it. Okay, and I have one meal a day. All right. So what is this doing for me? It's giving me energy. It's giving me nutrition. It's giving me immunity. Okay, basically helping my immune system to stay strong because my body needs to, we have to, we get energy and life from what we consume, right? So basically keeping the body functioning with a powerful fuel source. And this is a powerful nutritional fuel source right here, okay? So we got energy, we got nutrition, we got immunity, we got cleansing and detoxification, okay? All 5 things need to be happening at an efficient level for you to be at the elite level, okay, as you continue to age and mature, okay? And this is what allows a person at my age, 30, 40, 50, okay, to stay in the game and execute on a physical level the way that I do as a result of, again, going back to what I eat, as I brought out before, and as you heard many times before, you are what you eat. You are what you assimilate. To get it even more, down to the mechanics, it's basically what you're assimilating, okay? You do not assimilate fiber. Fiber is the vector for whatever nutrients or non-nutrients is going into your body, okay? That fiber travels along the 32-foot long canal, which is your esophagus, your digestive tract, okay, which includes your stomach, part of that your liver, all right? It goes through the stomach, through the liver, then to the small intestine, okay? From the small intestine, it travels and travels and travels, okay? Then it goes up the transverse colon, the ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon, and then out through the rectum. All right. And all along the 32-foot long journey that the food takes, depending on what type of food you're consuming, okay, your body is absorbing the juice from that fiber, okay, and depending on the quality of that juice, acid or alkaline, that is going to determine your health. You see how simple that is? Okay, you don't have to go into a bunch of science to figure this out, guys. It's that simple. Your body is a living juicer. That's all it does, is it takes in the pulp, it absorbs the juice, and it pushes out the rest of the fiber or pulp in a bowel movement. And again, depending on what type of fiber you're consuming, that determines your overall health. That's why I picked the very best. Bugatti, Lamborghini, Bentley Nutrition. For this body right here, okay? Because I ain't playing around. All right, I ain't playing around with my health. Not going to happen. Okay? And again, I'm going to leave you with this text. The Bible's clear. It says in Revelation chapter 22, verse 2, the leaves. Again, it says the leaves. There are over 300,000 varieties of leaf-sourced vegetable and fruit. One from the ground in a root form and the other from tree in fruit form, are for the healing of the nation. Basically the fueling, okay? It just fuels us. body's self-healing. Takes that, good, keep the machine going. Take that, keep the machine going. Okay, you stop taking that, machine breaks down. Cellular malfunction. And now you in the red of sickness. Sickness is really not sickness, it's a detox experience you're going through. That's all it is. And it's an indicator light on your oil light. You need oil, you need water. You about to overheat. You got to do something to change that. That's all it is. And once you make the changes, then guess what? The cellular malfunction goes away. All right. Anyway, again, the 10 foods. This is from Live Love Fruit. I'm gonna post this after I close out this live. This is from livelovefruit.com/food-that-cause-inflammation-weight gain. And again, it is the 10 foods that cause chronic inflammation, trigger pain, fatigue, and bloating. And if you are someone that is suffering from that and you want to make some changes, you want to get real deep into your experience, just let me know. I do wellness assessments for my wellness clients, and then when I'm done with that assessment, then we can say, okay, this is what you need to eliminate from your diet. This is what you need to incorporate. Okay, and already if you're not doing superfoods, I'm gonna tell you right off the bat, you need to start doing superfoods. All right, you need to be having something on board that helps with inflammation of the brain, something on board that deals with inflammation of the heart, something on board that deals with inflammation of the liver. Okay, and then you need something on board that just gives you all your nutrients in one little shot. Okay, which is what I like with this little package right here. Okay, just so we can stay healthy, and then we can talk about the other things that you may need to start eliminating. And I'm not saying eliminate everything. Okay, what I'm saying is that if you want to be healthy, you got to minimize. That's what this was talking about. You got to minimize. You got to balance it out, or minimize those things that are causing these triggers of things that you already are experiencing. And again, most diseases, 99.9% of them are preventable. It's just you have to start making right food and drink choices. Okay, it's that simple, and you can turn it around. If you are someone dealing with weight and you want to lose weight, we have a wonderful weight loss program, 90-day weight loss program in the HBN community. That's something you want to explore too. It helps with weight loss, and it helps with this here chronic inflammation. It does two things. It helps with weight loss and chronic inflammation, and it gives you energy. Powerful. Okay, you need to be living this stuff, man, to just like really get in it. You got to be living it. You got to be living it. Okay, and I want you to. I hope that you're somebody who wants to live it. All right, I really do hope that you're someone who wants to live it. All right, guys, that's it for now. Levity Health part 3 will be coming on tomorrow. Any questions, you know what to do. Hit me up in the comments or message me directly, and I will get back to you. Other than that, have a beautiful day, and I'll see you on the inside.